Hey everybody! Hope you're ready for some more citation fun. Today we're going to talk about constitutions and statutes. So, constitutions. They're pretty simple. First, is it a state constitution or the federal constitution? If it's federal, abbreviate with US. If it's state, abbreviate as you're told to in Table 10. Then abbreviate Constitution with the first 5 letters and a period. Then abbreviate the subdivisions of constitutions, such as article, section, clause, according to the abbreviations listed in Table 16. You want to separate subdivisions with commas and end your citation sentence with a period. So, for an example, if we wanted to cite Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3 of the United States Constitution, it would look like that. If we wanted to cite Article 1, Section 12 of the South Carolina Constitution, it would look something like that. Constitutions are pretty easy. Now for short forms, you don't want to use a short form citation other than id for constitutions. So if it's the next cite, you can use id. If it's 4 cites from your original cite, no short form, just do the long form again. Again, we're just making your life easier there. So for federal statutes, we want to look to Rule 12. The general format is to include the name of the statute if the statute is commonly known by that name or that information would be helpful. Go ahead and use your judgment there. That's actually allowed by the Blue Book. I'm not just saying that. Then you want the name of the title, the abbreviated name of the code, the section number, and the year of the cited code edition. Not the year the act was passed, the year of the cited code edition. Now, codes are published every 6 years, so that's the year you want to use. The most recent one was published in 2012. So what happens for all the laws that are passed between the years that a code is published? Those are going to be published in supplements that are marked with Roman numerals, and you'll see those in a little bit. So here are some examples. The first bullet point is just a fill-in-the-blank way to see how to cite a statute. And then the next bullet point is a specific example. Now I used the name of the act so you can see how that would look. The next bullet point is how we're going to do multiple consecutive statutes. So for there, it's sections 1331 through 1367. And you want to use 2 of the section symbols to denote that it's more than one section. Now for multiple non-consecutive statutes, you're still going to use the 2 section signals, but then you'll separate the sections with a comma. Now we talked about the supplements before. You'll most likely need to refer to the original code as well and the supplement. So that's what I'm showing you here. This section is in the 2012 code, but then something changed, or the actual law was passed in the 2013 supplement. Since that's the first supplement since the code was published, it's supplement 1. Now there are some special rules that you'll see in 12.9 for Internal Revenue Code and Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. We're not going to use a date there, and instead of the United States Code, we're going to use IRC for Internal Revenue Code, or that abbreviation for the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. So here's some practice. If we're doing Section 104 of Title 11 of the current United States Code published in the 2012 main volume, go ahead and pause your video now and give that a try. Hopefully it looks something like that. Let's give this a shot. Sections 102, 103, 104, and 110 and 111 of Title 11 of the current United States Code, published in the 2013 supplement with reference to the 2012 main volume. Go ahead and give it a pause. Hopefully you have something like that. Now I kind of tricked you with the consecutive and non-consecutive thrown in there, and the supplement, so that one is a little more confusing, but hopefully you still got it. Moving on to state statutes, these are a little tricky to teach because every state is going to be done differently. Table 1.3 lists the official and unofficial statutory compilations of each state with the preferred official code listed first. You want to cite state statutes to an official code when possible. A citation form is going to vary state to state, but most full citations are going to include the abbreviated name of the code, the cited section numbers, and the year of the cited code edition. So there's an example from Florida. So with states, the best way to learn them is to practice. So let's get some practice. Go ahead and take a look at that, pause the video, and give it a shot. Hopefully it looks something like that. Here's another one for you to try. Go ahead and pause the video and give it a shot. There you go. So statutes with short forms, remember the first mention of the statute is going to require a full citation. Subsequent citations in the same general discussion can use any of the short forms that clearly identifies the source. You want to look to Rule 1210 for a table of acceptable short forms for statutes. I know, you're saying, Rob, it's crazy. The Blue Book is always so specific and tells me exactly what to do. But for statute short forms, we have a lot of options. Yeah, you have a lot of options. Make sure the reader would be able to clearly recognize what you're referencing. And as long as it's one of the acceptable short forms, you can use your discretion. You can also use id if referring to the same identical provision or set of provisions. But you can also use id if you're referring to a different provision within the same title. So an example, this is the best way to show you what I'm talking about. If that's the original site, and the next citation we're referencing the same title, Title 28, but we're referencing the next section, we can cite like that. And that's it for constitutions and statutes. We are done with this video, and you should have a little bit of an idea of how to cite. Don't worry, of course we are going to practice much more in class next time, and that's really when it's all going to start making sense. But have a great night.